Very quickly, just going back to Legally Blonde, there was a thing last year, you must remember when it hit the headlines, President Trump, he made the commencement speech.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then it turned out it bore quite a strong resemblance to Elle's graduation speech in Legally Blonde.
Yeah. It did.
Yeah. Was it Jimmy Fallon who found this out? I know it was all over the internet.
I don't know. It was, maybe it was on Jimmy's show.
If you haven't seen it, it's sort of unbelievable. We'll just show them the thing.
That we take our next steps into the world.
You must go forth into the world.
It is with passion,
Courage
of conviction,
courage in your convictions.
and strong sense of self.
Be true to yourself.
We did it!
I did it.
Have you not seen that?
No. I can't believe I've never seen that. I always fall down YouTube rabbit holes and I missed that completely.
It's true, he is better when he sticks to the script.
Do you know how that happened, or is he just a fan of the film?
I'm sure he's just a big fan.
Very bizarre. When was it written, or when was it planned? Because it seems so kind of perfectly placed now. It's very kind of zeitgeisty in that kind of Trumpian America. John Lithgow's character is almost a version of Trump.
Exactly.
And was that all planned?
No, the scary part is that there's so many like him.
Yes.
No, we were thinking about the dentist that killed the lion.
Yes.
And so it was before Trump. But when we were shooting, he was campaigning.
But now, I won't ask you about your political opinions, but we do have a picture that suggests...
But you're not going to ask me because you already know that...
Here you are with a lovely piñata.
This is the Mexican style, you know? The minute he started talking about the Mexican, 2 days later, we were selling piñatas like there's no tomorrow. Somebody brought one to a party at my house. The Mexicans lined up worse than the little kids at Valentina's party. And the tragic thing was that the first person that went on it killed it in 2 seconds because we were hitting it so hard. Nobody else got to hit the piñata. But some people were stepping on it on the floor.
Because, have you met the real Donald Trump?
Oh, yeah.
What was he like?
Strange. It's like, I mean, one thing you gotta give it to him, like, he is what it is. It's not like...
Yes, he's not pretending.
Pretending.
Yes.
Yeah, what you see is what you get, unfortunately.
Oh, my God.
Because, David, now, you haven't met him, have you?
No, I have not.
But you did take the opportunity of dressing up as him.
Yeah.
There you are. It's good, shade.
That was Halloween, and it was, you know, my Halloween costume was before he was the president, and I thought, well, you know, what's the sort of biggest nightmarish figure in today's culture? And I thought Donald Trump, and not for a moment did we think he would actually become president.
No, you must have thought, I'll do it this year, because next year it'll be old hat.
Yes. How long did it take to wash that off afterwards, just out of interest? Because that is quite the amount of...
It was 3 or 4 weeks.
Well, of course, this week, Donald Trump's been on his first trip abroad as president. So here's some pictures of him. Here he is in Saudi Arabia. Now,
oh my God.
Now,
what's going on there?
Well, apparently, it's some sort of peace thing, but it does look like a crystal ball, doesn't it? I see impeachment, I see disgrace. Look at him, he looks like a mystic Trump.
It's really scary.
Yeah, the lighting's not really doing him any favours at all.
He then went to Jerusalem, where he visited the Western Wall, and he placed a note inside. Presumably the note was for the wall builders. Call me, I've got a job. But you look at this picture, he can't even touch a wall appropriately. Look at that. It looks so wrong.
It does look sleazy for some reason. I don't
just like, wall. Well, by the way, if anyone's wondering what that unusual thing on his head is, that's his hair. And this is my favourite picture from the trip. I'm sure you've seen it. On Wednesday, Trump met the Pope. Now... That is a man thinking, take the picture. And Melania, I mean, like, Melania looks like she's at a funeral. I mean, she wishes. But, there's a weird thing going on at the moment. Well, so many weird things because of Donald Trump. But we're suddenly hearing about all these famous people that he asked out. And you are one of them.
Yeah.
What? Yes.
I know.
You could be the first lady.
I could have changed the course of history. We were doing Primary Colours, which was a film about the Clintons and about that. It was at Universal. It was '97. So it was a long time ago. So actually, one only associated Senior Trump with tasteless architecture at that point. And, well, still a boundless sense of narcissistic kind of madness. But I was in my little trailer, which was a normal trailer, and it had a phone, like a proper phone with a, you know... Landline. Yeah. Sort of trailer, though, so it's kind of... Yeah. And no one had ever rung me on it, nor had I ever used it. In fact, I assumed it was not a working machine. And it rang one day, and I picked it up, and it was Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
What?
Donald Trump. Donald Trump was on the other end of the phone going, "Hi, it's Donald Trump here." And I thought someone was having a laugh. So I said, "Oh, fuck off." And he said, "No, I'm ringing to ask you if you would like to, you know, come and stay in one of my lovely apartments, and maybe we could have dinner." And I just didn't know what to say. I was just absolutely astounded, because how did he get my number? I mean, a number that I didn't have in the trailer. Yeah. And so I just said I'd get back to him. And in so many ways I wish I had, because if I had gone out with him for dinner, I could have done that. And then we would all have known. And then maybe he wouldn't have been president. You know?
Slightly surprised that Piers Morgan's doing it, because I don't know if you know, he's a big Donald Trump supporter. And I know you're not a fan.
I'm really not. I'm really not. No, I am reminded of a time about 5 years ago. I was at a dinner with my ex-wife Brooke and her family and this and that. And about halfway through, I noticed Donald staring at my watch. And so he started saying, you know, listen, I'm sorry that I wasn't invited to your wedding, this and that, or I'm sorry I can't make your wedding. And I'm like, I didn't invite you. So he says, but, you know, I want to give you an early wedding gift as a gesture from me and Melania. And she doesn't say a word. She's very sweet and very pretty, but just kind of sits there, you know? Yeah. Anywho, so he says, these are platinum diamond Harry Winston, and he pulls off his cufflinks, and he gives them to me. And so I'm like, oh, gosh, Mr. Trump, you really shouldn't do this. He goes, no, it's the least I can do, and, you know, have a great marriage and all that. Little did he know. So smash cut to about 6 months later. I had some jewelry getting appraised at the house, you know, and she finished and was leaving. And I said, oh, yeah, you know, there's another couple of pieces that I have that I'm very curious about. Would you mind appraising these? She said, no, what are they? I said, well, you know, I explained the dinner and this and that. These are from Donald Trump, Harry Winston, you know, flawless D's, platinum. She took the loop, spent about 4 seconds, and kind of recoiled from it, much like people do from Trump. And so she says, in their finest moment, this is cheap pewter and bad zirconias, and they're stamped Trump. And I just thought, what does this really say about the man? You know, that he said, here's like a great wedding gift, and it's just a bag of dog shit, you know. Now, is that the laughter I can hear coming from across the pond at our country about this charlatan?
It's quite. Listen, it's scary times all over the place.
It really is.
But
really
you're having very scary times. Yeah.
But I have faith that good and decent people will make the right choice, and the circus will leave town before it contaminates the Oval Office.
Yeah. You went to the inauguration.
I know.
And that was because you were First Lady, not because you've been nominee.
Right, and you know, I really tried to get out of going. You know, because I was going, not as the candidate or the opponent, but as a former First Lady, because the tradition is presidents and former First Ladies all show up, regardless of Republican or Democrat, to show support, continuity of our government. So, you know, we thought, okay, maybe others aren't going. So, you know, we called... we called the Bushes, and the elder Bushes were in the hospital, which I think was legitimate. And so then, you know, we called the younger Bushes, and they said, yeah, we're going. We called the Carters. They said, yeah, we're going. So, you know, Bill and I looked at each other and said, well, we got to go. Oh, my gosh. I try to describe in the book what that felt like, because I didn't know what to expect. What I wanted to have happen was, despite the kind of campaign he ran, I wanted him to rise to the occasion of being our president and being the president for everybody, not just people who supported him. That didn't happen. And so we were sitting there and we were listening. I was sitting next to George W. Bush and Bill was on my other side, and we were listening to this really dark, divisive speech that I describe as a cry from the white nationalist gut. And I was so disappointed, really so sad that it wasn't an outreach. It was a narrowing and a hammering of what he had said before. And it's reported, so I put it in the book, it's reported that George W. Bush, as it ends, says that was some weird shit.
And it was.
Was it the fellas where they had the real kind of gangsters on set?
Well, there were people around who, you know...
Stole cameras.
You know, the same with Casino and stuff. That's, you know, that's part of it.
And does that help, or does it make you a bit nervous?
No, everybody, you know, people like to be in movies and part of them. And the guys in that world, as much, if not more than most people.
Yeah. And you talk about that world. What is it about movies in that world? Because almost since they started making movies, they've been telling stories about gangsters and the mafia and mobsters, and now here we are in 2019, and this is still a big deal. What is the appeal of those characters?
I don't know. I guess it's because they defy the law in some way, and they have their own laws, their own... There's more of an honor, like especially in The Godfather, I think, especially at that time in the late 60s, The Godfather with the government and everything, the Vietnam War. I think that the idea that this culture had there was more respect and more structure and more right and wrong than we were seeing in the war and with our leaders, and not being told the truth about what was really going on. And I think so that's why it was a part of its appeal.
Yeah.
Today we have a kind of a weird, twisted president who thinks he's a gangster, who's not even a good gangster, because this is a guy that, you know, even gangsters like Honor Among Thieves, you shake a hand, you have your word. That's all you have.
Yeah.
Is your word, and they have your word, and that's it. This guy is not the case.
No. I didn't even bring him up, ladies and gentlemen. I heard you talking on a show where you met Donald Trump.
Yes.
But not particularly because you wanted to.
No, I was I love real estate. I have to go meet him when I was really young. No, I was like 11 or 12, and I was going. It was when we were doing press for the first Potter movie, and they took us to New York, and it was the first time doing sort of the morning shows in New York. And I was about to go on the Today Show. I'd never been on sort of American sort of morning TV before, and I was quite nervous. And Donald Trump had also been on that day, and so that's Donald Trump for those of you who have blissfully forgotten what he looked like. But he, then they sort of walked me over to him, because clearly they were like, you know, somebody said, hey, you want to meet the kid who plays Harry Potter? And he was like, sure. I don't know. Conversation went. But they sort of walked me over to him, and he said, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And I said, nice to meet you. And he said, how are you? And I said, I'm quite nervous. I've never been on TV before. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. And he brilliantly just said, you just tell them you met Mr. Trump. To me, that's like that is the Everest of self-confidence. Like, imagine if I'd just been to you, like, when you go on that show, just talk about me. Don't even talk about your stuff.
Just look at the two Americans and we're both just like...
Like, sad. Yeah, they're laughing, you're really sad.
I know, you're all laughing.
And also the problem, but also this is kind of the problem. Because you do end up talking about him.
Yeah.
And, you know, we should be talking about the other people. Because I know you're...
Well, I mean, the beauty of the whole thing is you have to, because he just doesn't talk about himself. You feel like you have to.
Yeah, you got it.
Someone promote this guy.
Exactly. And you're a big Hillary supporter, I know. You've done benefits and...
Yes.
Yeah.
I am.
But you must know the White House very well because you seem to go there a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm there all the time.
Have you played basketball there or something?
Well, so I was asked by President Obama to
Everyone hates you already.
Well, it was more or less like, you know, hey, just come and sing something. But I got there early because they offered to give us a tour of the White House again, and you had heard these you know, because I'd been there with...
Yeah, no, we so heard the again. Yeah.
Guys, stay with me.
Yeah. I'd love to see what you've done with the place. Yeah.
So it's different. Wow, you've really done a lot with the kitchen. No, so you'd heard these rumors that President Obama had his own basketball court. To which I had never heard that there was even a basketball court. You never heard any... You always heard about presidents playing golf. So I was like, can I see the basketball court? And they let me go to the basketball court, and the balls have President Barack Obama stitched it like Spalding
Did
NBA.
you steal one?
No, I didn't. I asked for one, and they said no. So, but I was shooting hoops on the court, and I was able to have my manager film me, and I made a half-court shot. It only took me like 40-something tries, but I made a half-court shot and I videotaped it, and then there's a picture.
I think we've got the picture, yeah.
So I'm actually showing him because he, you know, I mean, everything you do there, everyone obviously knows about it. I showed up and he goes, "I heard you were trying to play basketball on my court." And
you're like, "I was good though."
And I was like, trying? Okay, hold on, President. You know, and then I showed him I mean, can we just talk about what an amazing president? He's amazing.